Speak up, Raider Nation. The season is still underway, but the future is already knocking on the door, especially at the wide receiver position. With salary cap space and an urgent need for offensive talent, the Raiders have a golden chance to restructure for next year. Today, let's dive into the best wide receiver options that could wear the silver and black in Las Vegas. Ready? Let's break down 3 players who can transform our offense and get the Raiders back on track. With a more flexible budget for next season, the Raiders have the chance to bring in new talent and address weaknesses. With some key departures from the roster, especially at wide receiver, there is room to add a big name who could transform the offense. This opportunity for a makeover is not only necessary, it is also strategic to improve the team's performance as a whole. The Raiders front office knows it needs to act smartly and aggressively in the upcoming free agency window. Top-tier wide receivers are rarely available, so getting the right choice is crucial. In addition to bringing quality, a new WR should also provide a leadership presence to the offense, something that can revitalize the team's energy and motivation. With the market looking promising and good options available, the Raiders have the upper hand. We should soon see bold moves to transform the team. If the right investment is made, Raider Nation could witness a leap in quality in 2024. Now, let's explore each of the wide receiver options that could make a difference in our offense. Following the departure of Davante Adams, the Raiders' wide receiver position lost an elite talent, and now there is an urgent need to fill that void. For an attack that wants to compete with the best, it is essential to have a WR capable of dominating the field and giving the opposing defenses a hard time. The issue here is not just finding a replacement, but someone who can carry the weight of the attack and bring consistency in critical moments. Additionally, Jakobi Meyers' contract is also expiring, which puts even more pressure on finding solid long-term solutions. Without a reliable offensive line, the passing game becomes even more critical. The Raiders need a wide receiver who can create separation, be agile, and also have the ability to make big plays even in adverse situations. These challenges increase the urgency and importance of securing the right name to lead the position. A talented wide receiver with enough experience to handle the pressure will bring stability and balance to the team. Let's take a look at what options are on the table and how they can make that much-needed impact. Stefon Diggs is one of the most attractive options for the Raiders offense. The former Buffalo Bills, now with the Houston Texans, is known for his explosive style of play and ability to make impressive catches. Although he suffered a recent injury, Diggs has proven to be one of the most consistent and dangerous WRs in the league. If recovered, he could be a crucial addition to our offensive line. Before his knee injury, Diggs was having a great season, with 47 receptions for 996 yards and 3 touchdowns. He has enough experience to step into a leadership role and was once a true number 1 in Buffalo. His arrival would bring not only talent but also experience, something the Raiders' young players could learn from and be inspired by. Meanwhile, signing Diggs wouldn't be a cheap gamble and involves risk given his age and recent injury. But if the salary and physical conditions are favorable, he is a player who can make a difference. For many fans, Diggs is the definition of a star, and having a big name like that in Las Vegas could be the push the offense needs to consolidate. Amari Cooper is a name that Raider Nation is no stranger to. Drafted by the Raiders in 2015, Cooper had a great time with the team before being traded to the Dallas Cowboys in 2018. During his time in Oakland, he accumulated 3,183 yards and 19 touchdowns. Since then, he has evolved as a player and has become one of the most respected receivers in the league. It would be interesting to see Cooper back where it all began. The nostalgia factor could be a big draw for fans, who have always had a fondness for Cooper. Plus, he has developed his game a lot and brings experience that would be valuable to an offense that needs stability and consistency. Having someone familiar with the Raider spirit is always a good thing, and fans would be excited to have Cooper back. However, Cooper's market value could be a hindrance. He is currently a highly valued player and will demand a significant contract. The cost-benefit ratio will need to be carefully analyzed, but the possibility of having a talented player with a history with the franchise is something the Raiders should consider. Darius Slayton of the New York Giants is an underrated option, but one that could prove valuable. Although he doesn't have the same recognition as Diggs or Cooper, Slayton has already proven himself to be a talented and resilient receiver, with 249 receptions, 3,744 yards, and 20 touchdowns in his career. For a team looking for renewal, Slayton brings youth and potential for growth. Despite having played with inconsistent quarterbacks in New York, he has always maintained good production, which shows that he can produce even more with a stable offensive structure. Slayton is agile and good at creating separation, something the Raiders could exploit on multiple plays. He is the type of player who can be an excellent value for money option. The Raiders will have to evaluate whether Slayton can be the true number one the offense needs. If so, he could earn a good contract and help lift the team. This pick would bring youth and long-term potential to the offense. Bringing in Stefon Diggs is a gamble on a big-name player who has proven his worth on competitive teams. While his recent injury may raise questions, he is still considered one of the most dominant forces at the position. The experience he brings could also boost the morale of the roster, especially the younger players. However, the Raiders will need to closely monitor his recovery to ensure he is fit for next season. Knee injuries are always a concern, especially for wide receivers, but Diggs has a history of resilience and talent that makes it worth the risk. His presence on the field and leadership in the locker room would also be essential to boosting the team's spirit. If the Raiders decide to take a chance on Diggs, it will be a high-risk move with high-reward potential. His experience on successful teams like the Bills could bring a winning mentality to Las Vegas. Will the Raiders opt for Diggs' experience? Only time will tell. Amari Cooper returning to the Raiders is an exciting idea for fans and brings back a touch of nostalgia. Having someone who already knows the franchise and has a connection with the fans could help bring stability to the offense. His progress since leaving has shown that he is still one of the best in the league, and his presence would bring confidence to the team. Cooper is a versatile receiver who can be both a quick playmaker and a deep threat. His return would bring immediate chemistry, and he knows what it means to wear the black and silver. Fans have seen his talent in action and know what to expect from him on the field. However, the cost of Cooper will be a major consideration. The market values his skill and experience, and he will demand a good contract. Are the Raiders willing to pay for the return of their former homegrown talent? For a team that needs to think long-term, Darius Slayton is a smart option. His youth and potential for growth make him a solid bet for the future. Slayton has shown consistency even without a strong offensive structure, which suggests he could flourish with the right support. Slayton brings the ability to create separation and be a threat on the run, something that could fit perfectly into the Raiders' offensive dynamic. He's underrated, but he has all the potential to be a positive surprise and bring new energy to the offense. Going with Slayton could also open up room to strengthen other positions. If the Raiders do pick Slayton, they'll have a promising piece to develop and potentially mold into the team's future star. This is exciting, as Raider Nation always supports a rising player. Let's see if he makes the cut. Each of these three wide receivers would bring something unique to the team. Diggs, with his experience, could be the leader the offense has been missing. Cooper, with his connection to the franchise, brings stability and proven ability. And Slayton, with his youth, represents a long-term bet. The key is finding the right combination of talent and cost for the Raiders. Fan feedback will be essential to this process, as they live and breathe the Raiders spirit. Seeing fan feedback will help the front office understand what expectations are most popular and what the public likes. Which of these three wide receivers would you rather see on the field? This is a defining moment for the Raiders, and every voice counts. Let's speak up and make it clear who we want to see leading the charge. Who will bring the spark to our home field and reignite the pride of Raider Nation? The 2024 season will be crucial, and decisions made now will directly impact the future of the franchise. The wide receiver position is one of the most important on offense, and finding the right player is a vital task. Having a strong talent can transform the Raiders' offense and put the team on the right path. The Raiders need to be strategic and bold at the same time. We won't know which direction they'll take soon enough, but Raider Nation's anxiety is real, and rightly so. Bringing in a big name at wide receiver will be a huge step toward a more competitive future. So, here's an invitation. Follow every step of this journey. This is the time to strengthen the unity of the fans and support each decision. After all, we are the Raider Nation, and we are ready for whatever comes. Raider Nation, let us know what you think below. Who do you want to see as our starting wide receiver? Comment, like, and subscribe to stay up to date with Raiders news and rumors.